Hello friends, Poland is being shaken by a series of strange incidents. From fan clashes with tear gas in Lublin to burning dormitories and rusty mines near shopping centers. We're going to break down how everyday indifference, fan provocations, and human stupidity blow up the public discourse and become grounds for political speculation. We'll discuss everything now. Please leave a like in support of aerodynamics. Friends, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, check and enable your notification bell. Well, let's get down to business. Thank you for your support. Yes, the first part. We're talking about the heated welcome in Lublin for a European match. The Polish police sprayed Ukrainian football fans with gas during the Dynamo Park match in Lublin when they tried to break into the opponent's stands, where the Greeks together with the Poles displayed the Russian flag. Why do you think? Ukrainians also claimed that the opposing fans were chanting anti-Ukrainian slogans. Well, by the way, just a reminder for those who don't know, the Kyiv club refused the away ticket quota and urged their fans not to go to this match, considering possible conflicts and provocations. Yes, now we'll break down what this actually means and why it's like that. I'll just tell you about the result of the match. It was the first match of the second qualifying round of the Europa League, and PAOK won 3-2. Well, let's watch this video. It's a great clip from the stadium. Let's see what happened there.
Let's go! Continuation, let's go. As we should all call our seat to ensure that there is not just us and our whole team. We should be able to make the best of ourselves and us as far as we can go and as far as see.
Such a wonderful video from the stadium, friends, but let's take a deeper look at this situation. In the stands, yes, a Russian tricolor has shown up. Not just one, but interestingly right next to the flags of the Polish football club Widzew from Łódź. You'd think, what do Łódź and Thessaloniki have to do with each other? And where does geopolitics fit into any of this? Friends, let me explain in a nutshell, in literally a minute, how this peculiar universe works. So, watch closely, pay attention. Because I know a little about football, and I can tell you that yes, it all looks like complete madness. But let me tell you, the ultras subculture is a special state within a state, with its own laws, its own etiquette that only they understand, and of course a completely wild tribalism. Fan alliances have their own specifics. The ultra subculture lives by its own rules, not by state borders or official foreign policy. They even have their own hierarchy. The Greek PAOK has long had a close friendship with certain groups from Poland, particularly with the guys from Widzew. And the Greeks in turn have long-standing brotherly ties with Moscow's CSKA and Serbia's Partizan. As a result, you get this kind of international hooligan alliance. And basically there's a certain code of terrorist provocation, because someone might say, well guys, like it's obvious which Poles would be the first to greet Russian tanks with ceremonial bread and flags. But in my opinion, look, the main task of the hardcore section at any European Cup match is not just to shout at the referee a few times or something like that, but to bring the opponent on the opposite stand as riled up as possible. What's the easiest way to anger Dynamo Kyiv at the stadium in Lublin? That's right, to pull out exactly the flag that is guaranteed to set the opponents off. They're already fuming, might even blow up. Well, actually, the Polish ultras from Łódź came to Lublin to support their Greek comrades. The Greeks brought friendship banners, and the Poles stood confidently with them, unembarrassed. For them, the internal fan code of supporting a brother stands much higher than any Polish laws or public opinion. Who cares about that? So what do we have in the end? Looking for deep political analysis or some clever conspiracy here seems absolutely pointless to me, because hardcore supporters are a very specific kind of people. Let's put it that way. This is just an example of how a small group of so-called football hooligans live in their own closed world. Yeah. So here, the logic of plain common sense and basic sanity gives way to subcultural principles. The main thing is to stage a good provocation and show support. Support the guys. So honestly, I wouldn't look for any grand subtext here. It's just the harsh, ruthless everyday life of the European football underground. Well, that turned out to be long. Sorry, that's just how it is. Especially for you, dear friends, I've added timestamps, so if you're not interested in football, just skip ahead. Next we have part 2, a domestic drama, mines in the trash, and political hype. Can't go without it these days. We're breaking down the fire at the student dorm, and the mines found near the shopping center have hidden the main shortage of our time, the shortage of common sense. And what do right-wing hype makers have to do with it? In Łódź, student dormitory number 5 caught fire. The smoke was so thick it could be seen from miles away. About 50 people ran out into the streets in panic, 2 were sent to the hospital, and 9 fire crews heroically fought to save the building from the flames. It seems like a classic, but of course, extremely unpleasant domestic drama caused by good old negligence and technical indifference. But yes, fires do happen, and Ukrainians aren't necessarily involved, because not all fires are connected to Ukrainians. Write in the comments what you think. But before the smoke had even cleared over Lodz, some kind of action movie was already unfolding in Jelenia Gora. Near the city shopping center, 2 anti-personnel mines were placed in a trash bin and nearby bushes. I wonder where you can buy those. Naturally, an alarm was raised. 160 people were evacuated from the shopping centers and residents of nearby towns. Oh, sorry, not towns, but Jelenia Gora. It's a separate city. People from the nearby houses were evacuated. Special forces from Wrocław arrive. Sappers are working. And our wonderful right-wing parties and, of course, patriotic activists step onto the scene. The sirens of the emergency services hadn't even died down yet when a commotion started on social media. Right-wing experts, without the slightest evidence, immediately began writing angry posts. And who's to blame? What do you think? It's obviously the Ukrainians. No need for a fortune teller. Maybe they don't even call the police. It's clear. The crime's solved. Ukrainian saboteurs planting bombs in Polish trash cans. They're burning our dorms and plotting something bad. That's how it is. For all the good, they've repaid everyone with evil. Why wait for some investigations, some facts? That's it. There is a ready-made political cliché that's very convenient for scoring points before the elections. You might wonder how this intense thriller ends. The police calmly proceed. They collect footage from surveillance cameras, carry out investigative steps. After all, it's not their first time, and they detain a 34-year-old resident of Jelenia Gora. Yes. What's interesting is that he was born in Poland, and he doesn't have a Ukrainian passport. That's surprising. Moreover, this guy has long been known to the operatives for his past exploits. His second accomplice is currently being actively sought. So, there are no Ukrainian security services, no Ukrainian saboteurs, no conspiracy, just 2 locals. Some local idiot repeat offender with a negative IQ dug up some old mine somewhere. They couldn't think of anything smarter than to throw the dangerous metal into the trash bin near the store. And this scene, of course, is an absolute masterpiece, because on one hand the student dorm is burning, and on the streets there are some characters running around with decommissioned ammo. And on the other hand, we have right-wing populists who instinctively blame Ukrainians for all the troubles. And it kicks in exactly 5 seconds before the police find out the name of the next local, let's say, fool. What do you think, friends? What in the end poses a greater threat to sunny Poland, to the wonderful Polish society? The echo of past wars or the clinical stupidity of certain citizens combined with political hysteria? Write in the comments, let's discuss. Friends, that's the news from sunny Poland. I wish you a peaceful Friday. Please leave your likes and comments. Greetings to the truck drivers. Greetings to the entire working class. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. That's it for now. See you next time. By the way, if you watched till the end, write your city. Dennis watched till the end from Lodz. Viewers from Bielsko-Biała and Scalea did too. Maybe someone's watching from Reggio Calabria. Write in the comments. Take care of yourselves. Well, I'll repeat myself. That's all for now. Make sure your notifications are on.